What up, folks? I'm back once again doing another video game review, and I'm reviewing Ninja Gaiden on the NES. Ninja Gaiden is a side-scrolling action game, which is an NES port of the arcade version, which is a beat 'em up. So so I don't know why they went with the side-scrolling action genre instead of the beat 'em up, but based off of what I played concerning Ninja Gaiden, it's a pretty good game, and it really doesn't it really don't bother me that they changed the genre of Ninja Gaiden. But pretty much the premise of it is has to do with the fact that Ryu Hayabusa has found out through a letter from his father that his father has went off on to fight in a duel, which he like lost that particular battle, and he like died and whatever. And so Ryu pretty much made up in his mind he was gonna find the guy who was responsible for his father's death, and pretty much you go find the street and face off against different characters, different enemies. Then you go up against the first stage boss, which is pretty much a outright pushover in my opinion. But I'll get into it later in the review that was a false sense of security. But anyway, like once you beat the first stage, pretty much the first stage boss, you you encounter this woman who who is a, who where you find out later on in the game that she's a pretty much an FBI agent. She pulls she like he hears her sneaking up behind him. You're like, oh man, this is great. Get out of here. Something along those lines. And you find out that you see her with a gun, and she shoots Ryu, but she doesn't kill him. She uses a tranquilizer dart on him, and like in the next cutscene, he pretty much talks to her about this statue, and they pretty much like told her to take it, told Ryu to take it with him, and he pretty much does, and he goes through like the second stage, divided into like three sections, like some more enemies, and and after you defeat the second boss, you find an archaeologist. You find an archaeologist who knows Ryu's father, and pretty much right in that cutscene after you defeat the second boss, that the archaeologist was good friends with Ryu's father, and this archaeologist pretty much tells him that him and his father had pretty much found these two statues. One of them that Ryu has, and it was like it's pretty much two demon statues that a ninja named Shinobi had defeated, but this Shinobi had pretty much defeated a demon and put the demon into these two statues, a light statue and a dark statue, so that this demon wouldn't be captured over anybody else. Like while they was talking, this mysterious ninja just straight comes out of nowhere and takes that dark this, demon statue, and Ryu pretty much goes after him. Well, once he goes after him, he pretty much defeats this mysterious ninja, and once you go back to the archaeologist's place, you find out that he's been fatally shot by somebody, and this archaeologist pretty much tell you a few extra things before he dies, and then these two agents from the FBI come in, it was like, come with us. And you ended up in the FBI office, I believe, somewhere supposed to be in like in New York, and the agent leading the investigation told him, give him more information than what the doctor told him, because they had this particular situation on like file or whatever. So he told them that it was this like pyramid that was in like South America where the demon statues were found by the archaeologists and Ryu's father. And there was this one guy named Shikito that serves as the main antagonist in the game that was looking for with his gang of baddies. So so this FBI agent pretty much hired Ryu to retrieve the statues, and he ended up going to South America as a result. And you pretty much go through a few more like divided stages where you defeat some like demon dogs or whatever. I don't know what else to call, but you defeat them, and now I would say with this particular boss battle, that sometimes there's a glitch where you normally fight two of them, but sometimes this glitch shows up where you pretty much fight three, where one of them is real, where one of them pretty much get hurt if you hit them. But anyway, when after you defeat them, you pretty much beat Shikito for the first time, and he had got the female FBI agent held hostage. Tell Ryu if you give up that statue, I'm gonna kill the woman, the female FBI agent. And by the way, if anybody remembers the name of this female FBI agent, you can mention it in the comment section because I honestly forgot because I haven't played in Ninja Gaiden for years. But anyway, he pretty much gives up the statue and he pulls some type of lever to a trap door. So you pretty much gotta fight your way through more baddies just to get to Shikito. Then there's this one you fight another boss battle, of course, but with this particular boss battle, you fight this guy that throws lightning at you. I think his name begins with an M. Again, I forget the name of this particular boss. But after you defeat this particular boss, he pretty much reveals that Ryu's father is still alive, which Ryu really meets with skepticism, thinking he's straight up lying about the whole thing, but he assures Ryu that his father is still alive. And later in the game, you pretty much find out that Ryu's father is in fact still alive, but he like put on a spell by Shikito. So for you to break that particular spell, you gotta fight. Ryu has to fight his father, which isn't an easy task to do. But once you do, Ryu's father pretty much comes to his senses, and he pretty much ends up getting killed. I think it was Shikito tried to kill Ryu. I'm not 100% sure. I have to walk through this to know for sure. But Ken, Ryu's father, Ryu's father ended up getting killed. So you face off against Shikito. You pretty much defeat him. Then you gotta fight the demon that was woken up by Shikito. I think I think it was a castle. I forget what it was, but I think it was like the story. It's the last cutscene, and that's pretty much like the game in a nutshell. Far as the story and premise. Now, even though the game, Ninja Gaiden on NES, is a different genre than the arcade version, this is one of the best games I've played on the NES. Like one of the reasons why I like it because Ninja Gaiden is the first game that introduces cutscenes and really like a good character development in video games back then. Because like back in the day, in the NES and with like Atari consoles before it, there were no cutscenes, no character development. All you just pick up and play. You know, so it pretty much set the standard in that regard in terms of character development and cutscenes. The the other thing I like is the graphics and gameplay. The graphics and gameplay can pretty much rival anything that you will see on the NES, like Mario Brothers, Castlevania, Metroid, Mega Man, all them. So it's pretty much got good graphics that justified hold up today. Honestly, I would put the graphics and gameplay in the top three NES games that pretty much age well in terms of that music and the controls. Now the controls, I honestly like that too because you pretty much have four different type of weapons you can use, like a Tower of Flames, a move called the Jumping Slash, a Boomerang, Throwing Star, and a regular Throwing Star. Now, the regular Throwing Star is pretty much the weakest out of the four, while I think either the Jumping Slash or the Fire Tower is the strong. One of those two is pretty much the strongest out the four. I'm not 100% sure which one is the strongest, but they give you a nice assortment of weapons, even though it's like limited in terms of numbers. But I like the weapons that you get. But it's kind of like to really successfully like navigate through the game and beat it, you're gonna need either the firewall, jumping slash, or the boomerang, the throwing star, which really like depends on which stage you're on a lot of times. And the soundtrack that is pretty good also. It's pretty much has pretty much a good variety of music within the in the game, which you include the music from the cutscenes, the music from when you're actually playing. So now the music is another aspect of it that you will put in like a possibly the top 10 or the top 25 best soundtrack from the NES library. You know, that's the one thing I can say about that. But there is one, as good as the game is, there was one like gripe that I myself and others who played it has with Ninja Gaiden, which is pretty much the difficulty, and it's connected to two things, which are enemy respawning and the pitfalls that's in the game. Another one is I would say that the third one too is that sometimes you run into has like a number and you pretty much face with like different. Yeah, you do have different enemies, but sometimes you encounter like three or four of them at a time at least, on a number of occasions, in which it makes it more difficult to go through, and it increases your chances of getting killed. You know, so to me, those three things make this game one of the more difficult games for the NES. Even though this one is not as hard as say Ghosts and Goblins per se, but it is like top 10 hardest games on the NES. Now I did like watch the Angry Video Game Nerds review of the Ninja Gaiden of this particular game. He also mentioned the other two that's pretty much more difficult than this one, which he said this is like pretty much the hardest trilogy of games on the NES, and a lot of people pretty much agree with that premise, even though I myself haven't really played the other two games. But based off this game, I can honestly believe that. You know what I'm saying? Well, with that being said, if Ninja Gaiden is your favorite game, or you want to talk about how hard the trilogy is or something like that, you can mention it in the comment section. You know, or if you want to talk about the other games on the NES that's hard, you can also mention that also. If you like this review, you can click the thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe. This is your boy 5989 signing off.